It all began long before the cameras and satellites watched every inch of a battlefield. In the early 20th century, America was rising, a young giant with dreams of power and promises of peace. But behind every flag raised in victory, there were soldiers who never made it home. They called it honor, but for the ones who fought, it was survival. From the muddy trenches of World War I to the jungles of Vietnam, history remembers the victories, but not the voices that were lost screaming beneath the sound of artillery. After World War II, the United States had become a superpower. The nation had defeated fascism, rebuilt Europe, and stood tall as the protector of freedom. Yet as the Cold War began, the line between protector and invader started to blur. Korea was the first test. Thousands of young Americans froze in foreign snow, fighting for a piece of land most of them couldn't even find on a map. It wasn't about territory. It was about ideology. A shadow war where both sides believed they were saving the world. But when the guns went silent, no one really won. The war ended where it began. And the soldiers who returned were never the same again. Then came Vietnam, a name that would burn itself into America's memory. The jungle was thick, the rain endless, and the enemy invisible. Young boys barely out of high school were sent. Halfway across the world to fight a war, politicians couldn't even explain. It wasn't about freedom anymore. It was about pride. For every bullet fired, there was a mother crying back home, a family breaking apart, a promise lost in the mud. When the soldiers came home, they weren't greeted with flags. They were met with silence, with anger, with questions they couldn't answer. America had won many wars before, but in Vietnam, it lost something far greater, its innocence. As the years rolled on, new wars began under different names. Operation Freedom, Enduring Justice, War on Terror. From Iraq to Afghanistan, the cycle repeated. Soldiers fought, bled, and believed in missions that changed every few years. The faces on TV were different, but the pain was the same. They fought for freedom, but found themselves questioning what that word even meant. For 2 decades, entire generations were raised under the shadow of war, watching their brothers and sisters go, never sure if they'd come back. Today we live in an age of silence, where the heroes are forgotten unless there's a hashtag or a trending video. The wars are now fought with drones, satellites, and screens, not courage. Not sweat, not blood, but somewhere in the heart of an old veteran sitting quietly on his porch. The echoes of those forgotten battles still live. He remembers the sound of helicopters, the smell of gunpowder, and the faces of friends who never came home. He doesn't talk much about it, because the world has moved on. But inside him, the war never ended. America's history is written in victories, but its soul lies buried in the sacrifices we rarely speak about. Every medal has a story, every flag has a tear behind it. The cost of war isn't just in dollars or politics. It's in the quiet nights when a soldier wakes up shaking, in the empty chairs at family dinners, in the silence of the cemeteries stretching for miles. The wars may be over, but the pain echoes forever. And maybe that's the real story, the one we've all forgotten to tell.